Holy shit, we've got him. And the person outside my room has started... Oh well, it's fine. Okay. Whew. That was actually the first try after the last try. We beat it, we're a dragon, we've got 0 Estus. That was real goddamn close. So we have a choice here. We've got the Soul of the Lords. First, let's have a look at that. Soul of the Lords. Since Lord Gwyn, the first Lord of Cinder, many exalted lords have linked the first flame, and it is the very souls that have manifested themselves as the defender of the flame. I'm going to pause here until the person stops doing their lawns, I think. We've got a choice ahead of us, but we can wait. Okay. They seem to have stopped. No, they haven't. I can't tell what the audio is coming in over the video. I really don't want to ruin the end of this series with a bunch of lawnmower noises. So I will, I guess, see you in another moment. Also, goddamn, look at us. We're a freaking dragon, man, and we beat him as a dragon. Granted, we have a lot more health than we have any right to have, and we didn't fight particularly well. But damn it, we're a dragon with a katana, and that's alright. And we can do this. Just... that is damn cool. Okay, let's just do this thing. So, we can either link the fire, or we can summon the Firekeeper.
First flame quickly fades. Darkness will shortly settle.
I'm so sorry.
But one day, tiny flames will dance across the darkness.
You trusted me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Like embers linked by Lord's path.
I'm so sorry. But the power is mine. I worked for it. I earned it. Game? There we go. There will be no flames across the land. Give it. Give it to me. The flame is mine. The fire is mine.
Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Oh, and that is probably the worst of all ends for Dark Souls 3. The other two ends are a bit more uplifting, I guess. In one of them, you become Lord of Hollows, and I guess the heir of humanity. And I guess rest the cycle away in favor of Primeval Dark and the Hollows that are sort of linked to it. One of the other endings is if you don't strike her down at the end, it just sort of goes to the end. That's sort of I'd say it's the most pure best end, where you break out free the cycle of the gods and end up going to the New Age, which has been affected by the Lord Gwyn's actions, but has broken free of his terrible cycle. The other end is simply the one I haven't actually gotten the ending. That's just linking the flame. You just link the fire. Your firekeeper gets thrown into that pit and dies, and the cycle continues until some other nameless undead wins and defeats him. I fucking love this game. Like, I'm over the goddamn moon about this game. I've probably clocked like over 150 hours or so since it came out. It's been like a week and a half. It's real good. Go and buy it. Love it. The lore in it's great. It's a bit more straightforward on the surface than the other games, but there still is an undercurrent of what the hell is actually going on here. The fights are good, the bosses are good, the level designs are good. It's all damn good. And hey, it's got 4 endings this time, and all of them are amazing. I got the Lord of Hollows ending first because that appealed to me, and I didn't know about this ending. I only knew about the Lord of Hollow ending and the ending where you sort of free humanity from the Age of Fire. Or the remnants of the ashes of the Age of Fire, I think is probably the most apt way to call it. Just so good. It has this great scene with you beside Yuria and you walk off, but I think the ending where we step on the goddamn Firekeeper's head and wrest the power of the first flame as it dies out for ourselves, betray her, fulfill the prophecy of true betrayal, of a world of pure dark, one light, who will never give it up, who will never link the flame again, stuck between ages. The Lord of Ashes rule when the world is burnt out. Lord of Ashes rules when the world is burnt out, rather. And that appeals to me, and I think that appeals to this channel. Anyone that's stuck with me. First completed LP I've done in a while. Sorry about that, guys. But, hey, I think this one was pretty decent. Man, and the fact that it is a dragon as well, that's super fun. Just, we seized every inch of power we could from ourselves. From Hawkwood, from Yuria, from Yol, from the last dying embers, the flame fanned by the power of the gods. Lord Gwyn, his legacy is cast into the darkness. He tried to hold on to the Age of Light so strongly that in the end everything was lost. So good. Great last fight as well. Really props for that last fight. I actually got a friend who ran a Fate RPG who had a similar idea, and one of the enemies, Berserker, was the chosen undead, and he had all of the chosen undead's attacks, and he could jump around from fires. And the fact, like, I love that fight heaps because it's like, oh god, it's that guy from the first game. He has all of our powers. It's amazing, and in a sense, the Lord of Cinders, the true Lord of Cinder, who is the amalgamation of every person to link the fire from beforehand, will have a shard of the chosen undead within him, because the chosen undead isn't a true Lord of Ember, isn't a true Lord of Cinder, so he must therefore be combined in with the combined in with the other Linkers of the Fire, because the Chosen Undead doesn't actually matter, right? I think that's really what Dark Souls 2 to some extent tried to go to, but Dark Souls 2 did it in a really ham-fisted, horrible way. I think 3 hands everything a lot better. Like, you can just mostly completely ignore 2, apart from the fact that, you know, Mira's cool. Because Dark Souls 3 says that the first link in the flame, or the first link after Lord Gwyn, is unimportant in the greater scheme of things. You know, and that's true in the game itself. Like, in the game itself, it's unclear what's going on, and, you know, every universe has its chosen undead, and every chosen undead is linking the flame, and is it a cycle that's happening over and over? Who knows? I guess now we do know it is a cycle happening over, and eventually it's a cycle that's further co-opted by potentially Ludleth and the king, the Osiris, who turn it to their own ends to just try and keep that cycle going on, because they're so afraid, just like Lord Gwyn. Is Lord Ludleth like the heir of Gwyn or something? God. Just so... And we're back here, and nothing, you know.
Ashen one, thou wishest yet for a world without them called. I am thou hast given.
Yep. We've got a little bit more to do here very quickly. Such a good game. Like, brilliant. I know I get frustrated at it. That's sort of the begin transposition. Sort of the what happens with these games. We have... Where is it? Oops. Alright. Soul Lords, Soul Knight Spear. The tale of Gwyn's Archdragon hunts describe the inception of the Age of Fire. So this is the miracle of Gwyn. This is the spear. He uses the spear explicitly of the first Lord Gwyn. So within the Lord of Cinders, the true Lord of Cinders, is some aspect of Gwyn, I guess, as well, because he's not one of the Lords of Cinders that sits on the throne. That's interesting. Oh, here we go. Firelink Greatsword. The Lords of Cinder linked the first flame, and this greatsword was wielded by their deific manifestation. The coiled sword, found thrust in the bonfire, existed long before the throneless lords themselves. Again, the lords are usurpers. They're usurpers of usurpers. Lord Gwyn usurped the Age of Man and bound the Dark Soul to the fire, linked the Dark Soul to the fire. And then these men, these beings usurped the cycle for themselves, because the gods were gone. Because Aldrich devoured the last of the gods, essentially. The last of the gods made manifest was Gwyn's son, who dresses like a chick. I always forget the name. And he was devoured by Aldrich. And maybe Rosaria is a manifestation in some sense. And the souls keep getting passed on and reborn, because that's what the cycle does. But there were no gods left for the Age of Fire, because Gwyn's mad gambit ultimately failed. And then his folly was reinvigorated by these 5, 4 of whom were either unwilling participants or became unwilling participants as time went on. Skull Ring, incidentally. Don't think there's anything interesting here. The Soul Feeder was a beast that insatiably absorbed souls to feed its own power. Even after its accursed corpse was burned, it is said that the pungent stench of souls led the air permanently stained? One of Corlin's transpose wonders derived from the soul of a soul feeder. I wonder if Ludleth is then a soul feeder, or if he simply had one of their rings, and if that's linked to his usurpation of the Age of Cycles. Oh man, just a brilliant game, brilliantly done. I think we're basically done here. I'm gonna teleport very quickly to the kiln of the first flame, just to see if there's anything up here, just to see if we can do another ending. I might even be persuaded to do it, but I doubt we can. Such just super damn solid. I may have just had a break in the video. I hope not. Okay. Is there anything we can see over here? Swords. Unlimited blade work style. I guess the swords of all of the, or some of the Lords of Cinder that came before. Do we have any key items? Pity. I was sort of hoping we would have the sort of Aegis of the first flame within us. Well, I think that's it. I think we end it here. We seized power. We destroyed the world, essentially. Like, our actions, the first flame is gone. But it exists enough that humanity is not free. It's still linked to it. It's still linked to us. But the first flame fades. It's gone. We have all of the power of Gwyn. We have all of the power. We have the power of thousands of years of people sacrificing themselves to the fire, and some of that will have burnt out, I guess, but enough of it remains that we're just this ridiculous, like, god being, and we're the one being. Everything else will fade. It's all going to become hollows. Like, everyone, there is no fire for anyone to draw upon, and there is no chance for people to draw out their own fire, because they're still linked. We did not unlink the fire, not completely. We transposed the fire into ourselves. At least that's my reading of it. Leave a comment, etc. if you think differently. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. We did it. See you on the other side. I'll see you on the other side.